So does anybody else feel like everything's about to change in 2020?
January 2nd.
And I don't mean like new year, new me, not that. So does anybody else, not New Year's resolution, I'm talking the world on its head or its ass, everything changing forever. Not new, I can't seem to shake that feeling. Like everything's going to change forever and ever. And this is the last. I can't seem to shake that little piece of normal that any of us are ever going to have. I think everybody should pay attention to what's going on in the world. Little piece. We have record-breaking hot and cold. We have record-breaking hot and cold. Fires, earthquakes, tsunamis, landslides. Fire, drought, flooding, famine. All of our natural resources are either gone or contaminated. Our air is damn near toxic. All of our greed, corruption, excessive wealth, poverty, everything. Greed, corruption, excessive wealth, poverty. Everything is at an all-time high or an all-time low. Specifically, I can't put my finger on it, but I know shit's about to get real. So get ready. Specifically, and stay ready. So if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready when that time comes. Get food for your family. This is 100% my vibe right now. I'm so sick, and this captures my vibe, and it makes me not look as terrible as I actually look. This is 100% my vibe right now. I've been banned from posting on TikTok for 10 days. Today's the first day I can post, and I'm sick AF. So this is what you get. Guys, can we agree on something? If you are sick, stay at home. If you are, I appreciate your work ethic and your integrity and all that stuff. I do. I appreciate your work ethic. But if you work in food and beverage or with the public in general, do not bring your sick ass to work. It's not okay. Nobody wants you there. But I know you need your money, but it is what it is. I'm not mad at you. I'll do the extra work. I don't care. And if your boss gives you a hard time, not cool. It's not cool, boss. But seriously, if you're throwing up or you have a fever, stay your sick ass at home. Because if you get me sick, I'm gonna be pissed, bro. Any of us. But seriously, I feel I can safely speak for the public at large and your coworkers. Guys, seriously, how deep can one rabbit hole be? How many different directions can one rabbit hole go? This virus stuff has got me mind blown. Nancy Mailin, the director of the CDC, the person who we've been getting the majority of our information from, public's majority of the information from about this virus, has one brother in the whole world who happens to be Rod Rosenstein, who happens to be a Trump opponent. I don't know what, if anything, that changes about this virus. I don't know if it's relevant. It just seems suspicious. And if not suspicious, then at least questionable. And it sucks that we have to question that type of relationship, but they brought it on themselves, dude. We have to question everything. I always have, but this just seems kind of coincidentally odd. I don't know. Nancy Mailin really has quite an impressive resume. She's been the director for the National Center of Immunization and Respiratory Disease, Epidemic Intelligence Service Officer, Deputy Director of Infectious Diseases. Let's see. Global Health and Surveillance Initiatives, Cross-Cutting Laboratory, a champion for control,
of bacterial meningitis. I mean, it really just kind of goes on and on and on for pages here, which is pretty impressive and should be somebody who we can trust to give us the correct information about what's going on. But if you compare what she said compared to what our president is saying, they kind of seem to be at opposite ends of the spectrum. So, how deep and how many different directions can one rabbit hole go? Why can't I just get a straight answer about anything? Every question I answer leads to more questions, and it's driving me insane. I'm not new to research. I know what I'm doing. I know how to look for things. I know how to find answers. This is, I think, very intentionally a clusterfuck. I mean, just a clusterfuck, dude. It has to be. There's no way this is accidental. There's no way. Karachi economy update. So it's bad, guys. Like, it's all bad. This week I estimate conservatively that I personally lost about $900. I lost between $600 and $700 in cash, and then plus hourly, I think 900 is probably a low number. So I mean, really, if it keeps going like this, I won't be doing very good for very long. Correct. And again, there's a lot of people that depend on me making that money to make their money, and if I'm not making money, I can't give them money. So it's kind of stressful. I'm pretty stressed about it, honestly. You need toilet paper. Come buy toilet paper. Come get me, big boy. Come, big boy. You will not survive long without me. You need me. Come buy me by the case. By the case. You need me. You will not. Guys, seriously, am I the only one that has a problem with the whole bumping elbows thing? Call me crazy, but you're supposed to cough and sneeze into your elbow, into the inside of your elbow, sure, but not on your hand. So we quit shaking hands, we quit high-fiving, and change to the part that we're supposed to spit our germs on. Let's use our heads, people. I can't think for everybody all the time. And Karachi economy update. So as of tomorrow, our big hotel resort sports complex thing is going to be closed. So I just had an epiphany, but I think more than likely it's more like catching up to where everybody else is already at. Although I haven't heard anybody specifically say this, it's just, although I haven't heard it. So the Democrats are pushing for mail-in voting. And also we know that the Democratic cities or whatever states were sending COVID victims to get well at old folks' home and basically sentencing these older people to death. So slaughtering old people. Were they doing that so that they could steal their votes? Is that a thing? Were they killing these old people in an effort to steal their votes by mail-in? Is that a thing? Is that what everybody's thinking, or is that just me? You're outside at night, alone, taking a walk, and some lady across the street, on the other side of the street, comes up to you on your side of the street and tells you should have a mask on. What do you say? It's John side of the street. And I'm back in quarantine. So my ex, who I see and hug and kiss and hang out with every day, tested positive. We all work at the same place. Me, my ex, my sister, my father-in-law. And yeah, kind of sucks a lot. And it's stupid. None of us are sick. I go to get tested tomorrow, I think. But yeah. So, and shit I need to get done today anyway. Just sucks that I can't go anywhere. What's up, people? So, I just got home from being tested for COVID. This is the second time that I've been tested. And this time was very different. I'm straight sus because the first time that I got tested, it was like a giant Q-tip, and the lady shoved it, felt like back to my brain, and then pulled it right out, and that was it. But this time, it was more like a skinny little pipe cleaner, and she shoved it in there and like wiggled it around. It hurt less than the first one, but gave me a very uneasy feeling. So she like shoved it in there, wiggled it around, and pulled it out, and then did my other nostril and wiggled it around and wiggled it around. And then I came home and snorted and gargled hydrogen peroxide because it makes me feel like if she put something in there, whether nefarious or not, if there's something in there, then I killed it. So, and it burned like a motherfucker because it makes me feel. So if anybody knows, or if anybody's like a tester or is familiar with that process, if you could fill me in, that'd be great. I'm gonna go research it right now and see what the difference is, but if you happen to know, that'd be great. Also, I don't know that there's any science behind the hydrogen peroxide thing other than what the Supreme Court ruled in a 5-4 decision against Nevada churches. We have to remain at a 50-person cap. So riddle me this. Why are our restaurants open and our casinos open, but our churches cannot be open? We can argue all day long about face masks or HQC. What's your argument for not opening churches all the way? I'd love to hear it. As much as I hate to think and especially say it, we're living in a post-constitutional world right now. We don't have rights. The First Amendment protects our right to freedom of religion and freedom to assemble peacefully. Where's that at? We gotta do something quick, guys. Where's that? Oh, I was just in the store and I seen some shit that really could have been really bad. There was these kids, they were like, 3/4 of the way down the aisle, and the mom was right at the beginning. And then this guy came up and grabbed one of the kids and kind of, hugged on him. I think it was probably his dad or his brother or whatever. It was family. But it hit me that if that dude grabbed that kid and ran out of the store, I would never be able to identify him. He's wearing a mask, like everybody else wearing a mask. So just make sure you're keeping an eye on your kids. Not that you don't, but, keep them extra close, because in broad daylight, or even if there's cameras, you are not going to identify that person. Real shit. Where's that? Go check this shit out. My best friend works for a very large casino in Las Vegas. He had to be tested before returning to work. He tested positive. He's asymptomatic. He was tested on a Monday. He got his positive results back on Wednesday. That same day, Wednesday, he went to the UMC hospital, and yesterday, Saturday, he got his test results back from UMC that were negative. Returning to UMC hospital. Also, my ex-husband, who tested positive 2 weeks ago, just tested positive again 16 days later. Also, he's completely asymptomatic. He has nothing wrong with him at all. He was just on a 2-week vacation, and apparently now he gets 2 more weeks. So yesterday I was with some people, and they believe that we are presently in the midst of World War III. And that this war is not like all the other wars. It's not a pew-pew war. It's a digital war and a battlefield of the mind. But that we're already in World War III presently. And they said a lot more than that, but they made a lot of good points, but I don't know that we're in a war. I mean, I guess we are, I don't know. I don't know that it's World War III, but then at the same time, with all that's going on, it may very well be. So I was just wondering what you guys think about that. Are we in the midst of World War III right now? Are we in the midst of a revolution? I feel like we are at the cusp of a revolution. And I'm just curious for your guys' opinions on that.
You guys, is anybody else just, I don't know, I'm over it. There's so much truth that if I sat down and tried to tell everybody and had hours to do it about everything, it's impossible. There's so much bullshit and bad shit in this world. I don't know, man. Shit's got me kind of stressed out. I know a lot of people are waking up, but I feel like it's taking too long. But I've been in it for so long. I don't want to do this anymore. Fuck 2020. Next. For Don't worry, guys, I'm not going crazy. Just whatever. I guess I'm just impatient. And I feel like 2020 is personally attacking me and my family outside of all the madness that is everywhere that I can't change all by myself. I'm not strong enough to change all by myself. I'm tired, I know there's a reason and a season, and I know that God wakes you up for a reason, and that reason is this season, right? That's what I tell my for so long. Guys, let's go ahead and talk about sneezing while wearing a mask or coughing while wearing a mask. The first time I saw this, I thought it was a limited thing. I wasn't going to see it again, but I've seen it dozens of times now. I heard somebody say it. People are wearing their mask and sneezing right into it and not covering their sneeze and then not changing their mask. That is not okay, guys. If you need to cough or sneeze, you should pull your mask down and cough or sneeze into your arm. If you do happen to cough or sneeze inside of your mask, you need to change it immediately. See it again with your mask. If you cough or sneeze into your mask without covering it, whatever pushes through your mask actually goes further than it normally would because it's taking those big droplets and making them smaller and going through your mask and traveling further through the air than they normally would without a mask. So, and then if you don't change it, that's just gross. If there's germs and snot, and that's disgusting. Your mask. Come here. You're being lied to. About what, you ask? I think the list would be shorter about what you're not being lied to about. I think people have no idea the level. I listened to a woman talk for 25 minutes about how good fluoride is for your teeth and bones. It took everything in me not to say something. I was at work. I can't do that. I heard a kid tell his parents
that he wants to join the Black Lives Matter movement because they're making a positive difference and that it has nothing to do with politics. Different. I saw a grown man looking into the sky, watching the geoengineering happening and telling me, or maybe himself, that it was contrails and that all it is water vapor, and that those are completely natural cloud formations that we're seeing in the shape of an X. I heard people try to argue that pedophilia is not rampant in the government. I had a grown woman tell me to my face, look me in my eyes, and very genuinely tell me that the mainstream media is the single most reliable source of information. You guys really need to start looking some shit up. Just look into it. Don't Google the shit. Look into it. It's not hard. You tell me that the mainstream media is not. The truth will set you free. First, it's going to piss you off, though, so be ready for that. But then you'll be set free.
Man, I'm trying to deal with this, and just, like I said, I'm trusting the doctor. It's hard for me to trust. There's a lot of things I don't trust in life, you know what I mean? Like every time I fly, I get nervous because, I don't know about you guys, remember when they lost that airplane that one time and they never found it? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Remember that Malaysian airline? They just lost it. Like, how do you lose an airplane? Like I said, the kid's like, hey man, anybody see my airplane anywhere? Remember? And every time they pull up an airplane part out of the ocean, right? And they check the serial number, it's not that airplane. They're like, is this it? What's the serial number? That's not it. How about this? Is that the serial number? What's it? That's not it. How about this? What's the serial number? That's not it. How many planes are at the bottom of that ocean? They drain that ocean. Look at an episode of Sanford and Son, nothing but empty airplane parts. Like Malaysian airline has lowered the bar for everybody. It's like American airline. We might lose your luggage, but we won't lose you. And honestly, unless you tell me otherwise, I'm gonna say aliens. I don't know about you guys, I believe in that. Matter of fact, I believe in everything but the government. True. I believe in God, I believe in ghosts. Matter of fact, if you told me you saw Bigfoot snowboarding down this mountain, I'd be like, that means snowboard's that big? But the government said, we're gonna lower taxes. No, you're not. You guys don't believe me? Remember what, about 5 years ago, you tried to make us believe we're gonna get the Ebola virus, remember that? Every time your stomach would go like, where to go? Man, I think I got it. I don't feel it. I think I got Ebola. Remember that? Because your stomach gets sick up here, but then at lower intestine gets, you go, uh-oh. You gotta clench up like, ooh, I think I got Ebola, man. You got a potato sack, race to the bathroom, man. I think I got Ebola, man. What'd you eat last night, Taco Bell? You ain't got Ebola. Because think about it, it's always something new that gets you about every 5 years. The government comes up with something new, like what? It was Ebola. Now, what's this Zika virus? Remember that? That's what the athletes in the last Olympics had to deal with in Brazil. Remember? They said they had to deal with the Zika virus. They said they had to swim what they thought was raw sewage. Makes you wonder, how bad do they want that gold medal? Like, man, was it worth it? Well, my kids had 3 eyeballs and a tail, but hey, I'm a gold medalist. I grew up wanting to be in the Olympics, man. I grew up originally, by the way, in Oklahoma. Anybody Oklahoma? Anybody? Heard about it? 150.